senior team, and I'm going to tell you how I fractured my elbow on stage. So it was during our hip hop dance, during a lift, and basically what the lift is supposed to be like is Lexi is supposed to run up these three girls, Sammy, Olivia, and Bridget, and then she's supposed to jump off Bridget and then over me, and I was in a handstand, in like a split handstand, and she's supposed to like jump over and go like crazy because like that's part of the dance. And every time in the studio and in the first competition, it was like fine, like we did it perfectly.
We are passing through an area of turbulence. Please keep your seatbelt fastened. We are turbulence!
But then at this competition, when Lexi tried to run up the girls, she tripped on the second girl because one of the girls, Audrey, she let go of the arm a little too quickly, and then it made her unbalanced. And then Lexi tried to catch herself, but she couldn't, and then she fell on top of me while I was in the handstand, and then my right arm went down normally, didn't get injured, but my left arm, it stayed straight, so then my elbow like dislocated, and then it like went down, and then I like fractured it.
We are passing through an area of turbulence. Please keep your seatbelt fastened. We are passing through an area of turbulence. Please keep your seatbelt fastened.
Then of course, I get up and continue to dance. For the rest of the dance, I just did the entire thing with my basically broken arm. It was so painful. I don't know how I finished that dance. Like everyone who I've like talked to from here said like I would have just sat on the ground and like on the stage and just like cried. But I didn't cry at all. I just like got up and I just kept going. I like did this like flip thing with someone with this, like it was just wonderful. So then the dance finished, and I'm like, I need to go. So I booked it off that stage right when we finished, went into the dressing room, and just like sat on the floor because I had nowhere else to go. So I just sat there, and then everyone just like came running in and like asked me if I was okay. And I like knew I wasn't okay because it was really, it hurt so bad. And like on stage I heard like a pop. I'm like, it's not good. So an EMT came. She was like one of the moms from like a different studio. She came over and was like asking me all these questions. Like the owner, like the director of like the dance like company for like the competition like called like campus security and stuff. So they came and put me in like this weird splint that didn't do anything. So then my mom comes in and she was like, what happened? She was so confused. And I was like, we need to go to the hospital because it was very bad. She didn't want to go though, but I was like, we have to. So we drove to the nearest hospital, left everyone. I'm like, oh, bye. And we left, went to the hospital, got x-rays. The doctor at the hospital in the ER saw that I had like chipped a piece of my elbow and then thought I just like sprained my arm. He was like, yeah, you'll be good in a few weeks. That's not the case. So the next day we went to an orthopedic and I had an MRI done because it was like, he was confused with why like everything was like hurting. So I had that done, and then the next day he called and he's like, it's worse than we thought. I had dislocated my elbow, chipped a piece off, and then since I dislocated it, all the tendons and the ligaments in my forearm all like broke off and like like tore off the bone and stuff. So then he was like, you need surgery. I'm like, great. So I had surgery 2 days after. It was 2 hours. Everything's fixed now, thankfully. But I can't dance for the rest of the season. He said I can't dance for 3 to 4 months. And from that, 3 to 4 months is like July. So can't dance. And yeah. So for being out for the rest of the season, it's definitely really hard for me. It's so weird that like 1 minute you're like busy 7 days a week doing something, and then the next minute you do nothing. I come to studio like once or twice a week, but it's just not the same like going there and like doing stuff, because then I just end up, you just like sit out and then watch people like do something, and then like watch the group dances that you were supposed to be a part of, but now you're not. So it definitely is really weird and hard for me to like just like sit out and stuff and not be able to dance. But the advice that I give to other dancers who are out watching for an injury, maybe like mine or something different, is that stay connected to the people at the studio. Don't just like stay home for however many weeks you're out and not like go to the studio and see people or like stretch and stuff. Like continue like coming to the studio, maybe not every day, but like every other day or something, and like stretch there and like help out and stuff. Just like stay connected to the people so you don't just like leave them. And also to stay positive, because the injury that you have is not permanent, it's just temporary, it's just a bump in the road and it'll get better soon. So